Hello and welcome to the Guardians of Daggerfall basic rating guide. It's going to be a couple sections I'm going to be going over here in this video. The um, general expectations, different add-ons, different keybinds, group mechanics, CCs, set synergies, composition, and finally the miscellaneous. Alright, so first before I get into this, um, everyone needs to understand that Guardians of Daggerfall is a PvP uh, organized competitive guild, meaning that each person in the guild and in the group at the time needs to be up to par and ready. If someone is in raid and isn't ready, they can actually slow down the raid and get the raid killed by them blowing up by VD. Some general rules: if you're gonna go AFK for more than 2 minutes, please leave group. I ask this because if you're gone and I call for your ultimate, you obviously cannot use your ultimate, so it's going to be causing some conflict. It usually goes, I ask you twice if you're there, hello, you there, hello, one more time, you there, and then I remove. It's easy. Once you come back, there will be an invite waiting. Just let me know when you need an invite. Also, when either myself or any other leader calls for your ultimate to be called, speak and say it's being used. For example, if I call negate now and you're the first negate, you need to say my negate or my destro or whatever associated ultimate is there. Make sure you track your ultimate in Piece of Candy. You don't need to track additional ultimates, but you need to make sure that you can see your ultimate. In group, you need to have at least 25k health without using the Lord Mundus stone on both bars. For example, some people have structured entropy but boosted their health. No, it has to be on the opposite bar. Exceptions are for people that can get 27k health without using the Lord. For example, some heavy armor Templars or Orgonians or Orcs or etc. Some of the add-ons that are required for raid are as follows. Piece of Candy. This is the ultimate tracker. Very important. Bug Eater is very important as well, as you're going to get a lot of annoying UI errors. Yet another compass. It basically puts a compass in the middle of your screen so you know where's east, west, north, etc. Crown Customizer or Exterminatus Group Leader, whichever you prefer. Exterminatus has like a little arrow pointing to where the crown is. Crown Customizer has a bigger crown so you know where the crown is. And on the subject of add-ons, make sure you run the minimal amount of add-ons. Any more add-ons, you have a risk of lagging out a lot. And it becomes some kind of a meme in the guild that, hey, check your add-ons if you ever have a problem. Sometimes it doesn't really make any sense, but overall, make sure you check your add-ons. Another thing, I see a lot of people getting confused about different mechanics and whatnot. I just want to get this clear now. There's two different types of CCs, as funny as it may sound. But there is stuns, knockdowns, and fears. Those are called hard CCs. And then soft CCs are slows, roots, snares, and mobilizations. Those are soft CCs. Basically, anything that completely stops you from using the game or any skills, that's a hard CC. If you can use still stuff but you're still impaired, you're slowed or you're rooted, it's a soft CC. Remember, by using rapids, you can still get stunned, but you cannot be rooted or slowed. If you take an immovability potion, such as this, you can get stunned. You cannot get stunned for 10 seconds, but you can still get rooted and slowed. It's important to know. And on the subject of rapids, it lasts for 30 seconds, but when you cast a heal, it goes away. You can tell there. Pop time, have rapids or rapid them fast, pop the heal, and it goes away. So it's very important that the stamp classes, especially the stamp support, the stamp sorts, they spam it so we can keep the group moving very quickly. The number one rule of PvP, in my opinion, is to break free of those CCs. You cannot be stunned, you cannot get slowed, you have to break free. Especially in the situation that I put myself into. we have to keep moving and moving along. If we get stopped and you don't break free for whatever reason, you're dead. And if you are in the back for whatever reason, or you need help or something, you have to let me know. Help me, I'm in the back, I'm in the back. Something along those lines. Um, Let it be known that you need help. Right? Onto the topic of set and group synergy. Certain buff sets need to be used. For example, currently on this character, I am using Eben and Sanctuary. The other group sets that are needed are Worm Cult, Cursings, SPC, and Transmutation. Now, Eben, Sanctuary, and Worm Cult are used by the Magical Wardens or Mag Sorks as a kind of a group support. Cursings is a Stamina Sork support set. SPC and Transmutation, Spellpower Cure and Transmutation, is a Templar Healer set. When you're in the group, if you have any of these sets, it is your responsibility to let it be known that you have it, and also you can swap it out. Say, for example, I'm using Eben and Sanctuary. Now, another Magsort comes in the group. They don't need to use Eben and Sanctuary until we have 12 people. In the meantime, use Wormcold, for example, to get all three sets running at the same time. It's very important. Certain skills need to be used from the magic supports. Siege Shield. Siege Shield. Orbs. Shards. Orbs or shards if you're a Templar. And if you can, we need to make sure that we have all three morphs of both Rapid Regen, which is the base morph, Rapid Regen, which is this, or Mutagen. Same thing with Vigor. You want to have all three morphs. You want to have the base morph, Echoing, and Resolving throughout the group so we can get 3 different heals from going from one skill. Again, if you're a healer or support, you need to ask what people are using and how you can help, swap out sets and whatnot. Now I'm just gonna go over some quick keybinds that I find helpful and people that also find helpful. So dodge roll, set as B. Interrupt, which is your break free, set as V as in Victor. Use synergy, your synergy button, mouse wheel down. And your tab block, it doesn't matter which what this is, but it needs to be on there so you can tab target and someone from the enemy group. And I would suggest turning some of these off, like the character unkeybinded, just so you don't accidentally press in combat. And now, one of the add-ons that is required before we raid, you don't need it while we raid, but before, is called add-on called Superstar. It's basically looks like this. It's gonna show me exactly what sets you're using, your enchants, your stats. It's very important. This way I can know when people are up to par or not. If you have 3 light and 2 heavy or something random, it's not good. You don't want that shit. Make sure you send me a Superstar screenshot. In order to do so, you're gonna have to obviously download the add-on, go to your controls, and pick a keybind to it. It doesn't matter what it is, but there needs to be a keybind. And then a couple more things on your settings. What you want to do is you want to make sure you have your gameplay, turn on your combat cues, turn on your custom colors, copy these 0 to 55 and 0. It's going to put a big green AoE. That way any of the healers or the healing springs that we know where they're at. And again, same thing with the enemy color. Put 255, 0, and then 255. This is going to have a big AoE on the enemies. For example, Proxy Dead, Destral, Siege, anything like that. It's going to have an AoE on it. Make sure you have your nameplates turned on. You don't need to have short title, it's up to you. Your show guild type is very important because a lot of groups in Cyrodiil are different from one another, right? Dracarys is much different from Ari the Pact compared to Kush, compared to this, compared to just random pugs. So that information is very key in determining our strategy on what we're going to do. You can turn on health bars. This is pretty helpful. It's going to show on a health bar where, what % of your health is. Turn on these. You can copy these if you'd like. Show ultimate number and stuff like that. Now for your add-ons, 4 pieces of candy. This is important. Make sure you show your primary ultimate. For example, myself, I'm a Magwarden, so I indicate Sleet Storm. Now, as a leader, I want to show as many as I can see, so I go standard. If you're if you're only one person, or if you're just solo. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. Um, if you're trying to figure out only your ultimate, you go compact, and then just put one swim lane. And this will show, for example, only Sleet Storm, so you personally can track. Okay, my Sleet Storm is next. My perma is after his. Blah blah blah. My permafrost is now. Um, Stuff like that. In order to shrink it, you can turn off show ultimate alerts if you like. You need to keep on show your ultimate number. It's very important. You can turn this on if you want. You can turn this off if you want. Turn this off. Um, these settings don't really matter. Um, one last thing before I go on here. Now in terms of the composition, the more characters you can bring into the raid, the better. For example, you have a Mag Sork, Stam Warren, etc., etc. When you join group, either join Discord or join or get online. Whisper me, hey Nick, what does the raid need at the moment? And then list me your characters, Stam Sork, blah 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 blah. Okay, we need a Stam Sork. Bring that. It's very important. It's going to help the overall composition and our successfulness throughout the night. Now, kind of just so everyone is understand of what our composition should ideally look like. If we're running a 16-man group, we want 4 healers, 4 supports, 4 bombers, and 4 stand-ins. Now, let me go into a little more detail. The healers sets should be 3 spell power cure, 3 of which are using spell power cure, and only 1 is using trance. Again, it's going to depend on who has what in the group, but that's an overall setup. Now, for the supports, we should have 2 Mage Sorks and 2 Stam Sorks. 1 Mag Sork should be using, or ideally both the Mag Sorks have, one has Ebon and Worm. Other has, for example, Ebon and Sanctuary. And then for the Stam Sorks, one needs to be using Hersines, and one needs to be using Powerful Assault, or Hersines, whichever one you have. For the bombers, standard bomber setup, standard setup. Last couple things. Make sure you get your skeleton polymorph, right? It's gonna look like this, obviously, like a skeleton. You do it in raid because it helps our players